You work 40 years. 40 years of alarms going off at 6 o'clock in the morning. 40 years of dealing with bosses you didn't always like, commutes that made your blood boil, and a schedule that dictated every single second of your life. And through all those years, you had a dream. You told yourself, the second I cross that finish line, the second I retire, I am going to be free. Every day is going to be a Saturday. I'm going to sleep in, I'm going to travel, and I am finally going to do whatever I want, whenever I want to do it. And then, that day comes. The golden watch, the retirement party, the final sign-off. You wake up on that first Monday morning, and there is no alarm. You have your coffee on the porch. You read the paper from front to back. You go to golf, or you go shopping in the middle of the day just because you can. It feels amazing. It feels like a beautiful, endless vacation. When you spend like you are on vacation during the first 1 to 3 years of retirement, you are committing financial suicide because of a concept called the sequence of returns risk, mixed with sheer overspending. You are taking massive bites out of your nest egg at the exact moment when your portfolio needs to be protected the most. If you draw down too much of your capital early on to fund this honeymoon lifestyle, and the market happens to take a downturn at the same time, your nest egg will get hit so hard that it may never recover. I want you to think about this question. If you retire with $1 million, and you spend $80,000 in your first year because you're living the honeymoon dream, what happens if the market drops 20% that same year? Your $1 million didn't just drop by $80,000. It dropped by 20% from the market loss, plus the $80,000 you took out. Suddenly, you are starting year 2 of your retirement with $720,000. You have wiped out nearly 30% of your wealth in 12 months. How long do you think that money is going to last you if you live into your 80s, 90, or 100? Because you are going to live longer than you think. I have been saying this for years, you must plan for your money to last until you are 95 or 100 years old. The old rules, like the 4% withdrawal rule, are incredibly dangerous if you apply them blindly, especially during a high-spending honeymoon phase. If you are withdrawing 4 or 5%, plus spending extra on luxury trips and new toys right out of the gate, you are burning the house down to keep yourself warm for an hour. The fear of running out of money is real, but what drives people crazy is that they try to mask that fear with luxury. They buy things to feel alive because they don't know what else to do with their time. So, how do you avoid this trap? How do you enjoy the freedom you earned without letting that freedom turn into a financial and emotional nightmare? It starts with changing your definition of retirement. Retirement is not a permanent vacation. If you view it as a vacation, you will fail. Retirement is a graduation. It is the beginning of a new phase of productivity, not the end of productivity. I want you to take a look at your life right now, whether you are 6 months away from retirement or 2 years into it. You must establish a new normal schedule within the first 30 days of leaving your job. You cannot afford to wake up every day with a blank slate. A blank slate leads to a blank mind, and a blank mind leads to an open wallet. You need to schedule your time just like you did when you were working, but now, you are the boss of your purpose. If you want to sleep in until 7 instead of 6, great. But at 8 o'clock, what are you doing? Are you volunteering? Are you mentoring? Are you working a part-time job that you actually love, just to keep your mind sharp and a little bit of cash flowing in so you don't have to touch your investment accounts? I love the idea of a bridge strategy. If you retire in your early or mid-60s, instead of completely shutting down and immediately tapping your Social Security or pulling heavy distributions from your Roth or traditional IRAs, consider doing something part-time. Work 15 hours a week at a local bookstore or consult in your old field. Not because you have to cover a massive mortgage, but because it gives you structure, it keeps you social, and it protects your nest egg from that early honeymoon drawdown. Financially, you need to implement a honeymoon cooling-off period. For the first 24 months of your retirement, your spending should look exactly like your spending looked during your last 2 years of working. No major purchases. No brand new vehicles. No massive home renovations. No 5-star luxury trips around the world. You need to stress test your lifestyle. Live on your projected retirement income while leaving your principal completely alone, or keeping your withdrawals to an absolute minimum. I prefer aiming for no more than 3% in those initial years if you are retiring on the younger side. Prove to yourself that you can find joy and contentment in the simple, everyday reality of your new life before you start funding grand illusions. If, after 2 years, your portfolio is stable, your mind is settled, you have found a routine that doesn't rely on retail therapy to give you a dopamine hit, and you still want to take that trip? Then you can look at your finances with a clear head and see what you can truly afford. The greatest asset you have in retirement is not your 401k or your real estate. Your greatest asset is your peace of mind. True freedom is not the ability to waste time and spend money without consequence. True freedom is looking at your life, knowing exactly who you are without a corporate title, knowing that your money is safe and secure because you aren't abusing it, and feeling a deep sense of purpose when you wake up every single morning. Do not let the illusion of an endless summer ruin the winter of your life. Recognize the honeymoon trap for what it is. Step away from the temptation of immediate excess. Build a life of structure, service, and strict financial discipline from day one. When you do that, you don't just survive retirement, you master it, and you protect your security for the rest of your life.